I would rather be uncomfortable than to have a skinny body that I perceive to be beautiful and have all those negative things in my life. What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I asked in my story on Instagram if anyone had any questions or any topics regarding body image that they wanted me to cover, and I got a couple of suggestions, so I'm kind of just gonna go through the list today and try and get through as many as I can. So I have my hefty souffle pancake plushie joining me today. It actually, I feel like it looks bigger on this camera than it is in real life. It really isn't that gigantic, but okay. One of the first topics that I really wanted to cover was dealing with intrusive thoughts and also binging. A lot of people in recovery tend to get confused between binging and extreme hunger and actually refueling, because it's very easy to get them confused and to use them interchangeably with one another when in fact they're very, very different. The simplest way I can put it that really helped me was understanding that there was no such thing as binging. Binging was not in my vocabulary. Coming from a prolonged period of restriction, your brain doesn't know what constitutes as normal hunger, because you don't actually have a good indicator as to what is too much and what is actually binging. What really helped me distinguish between the extreme hunger and the binging was understanding that binging is an emotional response. It's a behavior that acts on your emotions. It's not necessarily due to physical hunger or mental hunger or any of the things commonly associated with extreme hunger. With extreme hunger, it's your body's natural response to that prolonged period of restriction. Your body's finally realizing that it can get the nutrients it needs and that you're finally feeding it adequate amounts of food. So it's like, okay, I'm finally getting food. I need to eat all I can because I'm afraid they're not going to feed me again. This allowed me kind of to have a lot more grace and patience with myself in knowing that my body's only acting this way because it unfortunately thinks I'm not going to fuel it again. And in order to build that trust with your body again, you have to continue to fuel it. I also have another video that I posted a really long time ago. It really goes into more depth describing the difference between extreme hunger and binging. With regards to overthinking, what really helps me coming up with personas for my thoughts. At the very beginning of my therapy, I had all these racing thoughts in my head. I felt like I was super overwhelmed. I didn't know which voice to listen to. I was internalizing everything because I felt like everything was me. Really labeling your thoughts and giving them names and even going as far as to customize different personas for those different types of thoughts can really help you not to internalize your thoughts. So for example, I had a persona that was very competitive. And this would be in any category. It could be exercise, it could be academics, it could be just being successful in careers, and social media also would definitely be there. Just very competitive in general, and I named her Alex. And basically what I would do was, let's say I was thinking about, oh, I really need to exercise today, or oh, someone else is exercising, so I need to exercise. That's the competitive nature in me that's thinking that. That's Alex, it's not me. It kind of gave me back the power and confidence to make my own decisions and not instantly feel like I need to appease all the thoughts in my head because they were me, if that makes sense. Another question I got a lot was how to not compare yourself to other people when I do find myself in social situations. Since I'm not in them enough, I tend to naturally gravitate back towards comparing and looking at other people. What really helps me in those situations, I like to list out all the things I do, all the things I do that I'm passionate about. And then I look at it and I think to myself, if I had that other person's life, I might not have these. If I saw someone at the mall and I really was like,
Oh my god, like, I wish I had their body, I wish I had their life. I don't like myself today. Like, I just don't.
and you really think about it, if you had their life, or if I had their life, for example, I wouldn't have this wall that I painted. I might not have a passion for crocheting. I might not do markets. I might not have just painted this whole wall over here. I might not have a lot of things if I traded my life to have someone else's life. I think that really helps me when I do fall into the comparison trap. I just think of all the things I value, how important those things are to me, that if I had another body, if I was living someone else's life, I might not have those things. Even my love for K-dramas, if I had someone else's life, if I had someone else's body, maybe I wouldn't be the kind of person that watches K-dramas, and that would be really sad because I love K-dramas. One of the other questions you guys asked was how to feel beautiful in the body you have now in relation to feeling like you were prettier when you were skinnier. I feel like I relate to this a lot. The other day I was on my phone, I was looking back through pictures, and I saw how different my body looks now compared to 6 months ago. I've said this in previous videos, but I'm still in the process, I feel like, of my brain realizing that my body isn't the same as it was 6 months ago. I have a better perspective on how my body is now. I didn't really take note every single day of like how my body was changing or if my body was changing. It wasn't really until I started to like put on clothes or like try on things that I had previously worn and realizing they like are really tight on me or like they no longer fit me, was when that conflict between realizing that like I feel like my body isn't changing, but physically apparently it's showing that my body's changing. I had to adjust and close that gap between accepting that my body was no longer the way I thought it was and embracing the body that I have now. When it comes to feeling beautiful in the body you have now and not giving into the thought that you were prettier when you were skinnier kind of thing, is I think to remind yourself that if you think back to when you were in that body, like for example, when I have bad body image days, sometimes I think, oh, if I had the body I had 6 months ago, I think I would be happier. Like I would feel more confident in the outfits that I really want to start wearing and all these kinds of things. I had to ask myself, 6 months ago, when I had that body, was I happy? No, I wasn't happy. I was frustrated. I was sad. I was going through a real rough time of my life. It wasn't enjoyable. I was not creative. I shut people out. I was very moody. I wasn't nice to people. I was very absent on social media because I just had no energy to do it. You have to kind of realize what comes with it, you know? You can say you want your old body back all you want, but you have to understand the consequences of what came with that old body. For me, when I think about that, I'm like, yes, am I uncomfortable in this body right now? Sometimes, yes, I am. But at the end of the day, I would rather be uncomfortable and having healthy relationships with my friends and family and being able to do creative things and being able to have a job and being able to allocate my time and energy to other things outside of food and exercise than to have a skinny body that I perceive to be beautiful and have all those negative things in my life. That's just something I always like to think about, is that feelings pass, emotions come in waves, and at the end of the day, I say this so many times and it's like a freaking broken record, but I just will keep telling you guys until you believe it for yourself, but you're so much more than your body. Like for real. Like I just can't tell you guys that enough. Also, comes full circle again, but what really helps me is just to remind myself of all the things I love about myself. At the beginning, it was hard for me to come up with things I love about myself. I know body image is tough. I know body image is something that is really uncomfortable, and sometimes it literally feels like all you want to do is curl up into a ball and like never see the sun again. An exercise you can do for body image that's very helpful is writing a love letter to yourself through the eyes of someone you care about or through the eyes of someone you love. I'd be surprised if you write it and you don't fall in love with yourself, because it's just so meaningful to take a minute to just see yourself through someone else's eyes. Like sometimes I feel like I'm not special, or I don't have value, or there's nothing cool about me, or there's nothing like interesting about me compared to other people. Even though I struggle sometimes, I have parts of myself that make me unique and that make me really grateful and glad that I do live this life, even though sometimes it can feel uncomfortable or it can feel like burdensome at times, you know? As your homework, because I care about you and I want you to prioritize your body image because you deserve to heal from it, okay? So write a love letter to yourself through the eyes of someone you love or someone you care about, and to keep that with you whenever you feel like you're having a bad day, whenever your body image is like shit, whenever you just don't feel your best, just whip it out, read it, paste it on your wall. I don't care where you put it, just somewhere you can see it. Use that as a reminder, because I want you guys to know that even on your shitty days, you still have value and you still have the power to make today a great day. If I didn't get to your question, or if there's something else you want me to cover, leave a comment in the description box.
I am so out of it today.
Leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer it. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy you're here. And if this is the first time you're seeing me, hi. I am so happy to virtually meet you. And so is the souffle pancake, you know. I have a whole other collection of plushies back there that you really can't see, but you know, they all say hi as well. Yeah, just know that I'm sending all of you guys lots of love and positive vibes. I'm always rooting for you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.